Shawnee, and this is the band slot for Monday, today. And we have Whyless in the studio with us. They're from Boone, North Carolina, and they live in Asheville now. So technically you're local, right?
We are.
Right?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Proud of it.
They actually have a new CD coming out. It's already technically out on Bandcamp. You can buy it digitally. But they're going to have a CD release party here in Asheville at the Grey Eagle on Friday, and opening for them are Kovacs and the Polar Bear and Little Tybee, and it's only $8. So I would go to that because I know how awesome all three of those bands are. Now two of the bands have come in because Kovacs have come in last year, and they're pretty cool. So
Get a Little Tybee in here sometime.
Should. I really like them. But it's so tiny, I don't know how. I don't know, but
They'll make it work.
They'll make it
No,
work.
yeah.
everyone will make it work.
They fit into smaller
We're
spaces.
going across the country with them. I think we in a little van, so I think we'll all make it work.
Just in one van?
No, well, there's a trailing car and
Man
then
in a car, but
yeah.
we're squeezing it quite a
There's
few.
10 people, so it's gonna be tight
Yeah.
regardless.
That's so cute. Okay, so your new CD, how'd it go? Like, did everything go as planned? Or
No.
Never.
wasn't it like pushed back?
It was supposed to come out in June, so we
last
were a little
Last year.
June.
Just a little late.
Yeah, a little late. But that tends to happen. We did it all ourselves, so it
It
was
sounds
kind
so
of a
good. Was it in
homegrown
like
thing.
a house or something?
It was multiple
A few.
houses, yeah.
Cool.
In Asheville. Probably most of it was done in Asheville, and then a good portion of it was done in New England, up in Massachusetts at a family's house out on Martha's Vineyard last winter, and then some of it done in Boone at a cabin in the woods. So
That's so
kind of
cool.
all over, yeah. But yeah, it worked out okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any favorites?
Tracked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you mine.
My favorite parts
So-
of the album, like favorite 30-second clips. Like of the song that you just listened to, that last little section is where I don't know, that's my soul music.
Yeah.
I sink right in. It's
That's a good one.
the heartbeat
You were
music.
rocking out. I wish everybody could have seen that.
Yeah, out of
That was
tune.
pretty great. I don't want to go through my questions so quickly, but I just wanted to ask, like, why the multiple Cedar Dream songs, I suppose, and like, I
Good
guess
question.
whatever behind that.
That was kind of something that evolved out of itself. It's kind of a long story. I'm not sure we should tell the whole thing because it's not all that interesting. But basically,
Thanks, buddy.
Wow.
no. I just mean like the chronology of the thing. It's kind of it started out as one song that wasn't even titled Cedar Dream, and then we spent some time when we were up in New England doing some recording up there. We kind of on some downtime, I think, when we were not tracking, we just kind of messed around with the song and decided to change a few things and rearrange some parts, and it turned into a different song entirely. So basically we rewrote the song and then rewrote the lyrics, and the idea sort of spawned from that. And then once we had the idea, we kind of looked at it and saw that there were some other things that related to it in other parts of songs, and kind of realized it was one song. It's sort of always been there, but we didn't realize it. And then when we kind of made the connection, we sort of
Decided to name
decided to spread the name across 3 songs and make it a trilogy of sorts.
That's
and so,
cool.
Yeah, it was kind of nice. It kind of happened on its own, which is always what you want to happen. I don't think you want to force it. It
Yeah.
always seems, if you force things, it always seems forced.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's so cool. I like how it's kind of like a theme and drawn out through the whole.
Yeah,
CD.
yeah.
That's pretty neat. Okay, so how does this CD differ from your past music, I guess?
Yeah, well,
good question.
In
In-
good ways or bad ways? Or
well, we feel it's good ways, but we're
Hope
the
so.
we're the people that are, making it. It's our last record was far more produced. We were in a studio and everything was done very professionally and lined up and all that stuff. And this time, yeah, deadlines, real deadlines, and so this one we were really nervous about that. We didn't want to do that again, and so we decided to embark on our own little recording journey. And so we got the equipment ourselves, and kind of with the help of a lot of the bands in Asheville. Actually, it's a pretty good community here. We were able to get the equipment and set aside time and do it ourselves. So it was just the sound is completely different because there wasn't a You know, it wasn't in the studio, so you don't have that as much control, and there's a lot of kind of background things that are happening by chance and some of it on purpose. It's just a little bit more of a loose record, and we felt like that it being loose like that kind of brought out more of the emotion of the actual musicians. So we definitely preferred this way of recording versus the last recording.
And I would say that it's matured creatively in a few ways, lyrics being one of them, because our old album was some of the first songs we'd ever written as a group, and these now come from a time period and a different point in our lives after moving to Asheville, and I think that there's more of a concept to this one, and it's just matured a little as far as lyrics, and some of the creative string and drum parts that come in are definitely representation of time and thought after our first album.
Cool. I like the sound of it, and I like it when bands do things more organically anyway, and I feel like recording in a house is cooler, and like recording yourself is pretty cool just because you do pick up things that studios don't pick up.
Yeah, and it gives you total freedom, and you complete freedom.
Yeah, you can do much more, and sometimes like studio stuff can be really helpful, but also it's just really,
I think there's a good,
laid out
and I think there's a good hybrid. I think there's something in between what we did.
Well, yeah. Well, we've talked about this a lot amongst ourselves, but like that, I think we can all admit that the first experience in the studio with the first album was a learning experience, and it was something we needed to have to sort of really appreciate what we did the second time. And I think it was something that we may not do exactly the same way again, you know, completely by ourselves or whatever. Who knows? But it was a good, you know, it's something that I think every band in a way should experience, because it's a really amazing way just to sort of like give yourself confidence and like learn a lot about your craft and your songs and everything that you're doing, because you're having to do it all yourself from the ground up, not just writing the songs, but putting them down on tape basically. So yeah, and not having anybody tell you what to do and how to do it can be disastrous for some people, I think. You can get carried away. But so it's good for discipline too, you know, it's good to sort of like hone your craft in all ways. So I think it was a really good experience for I encourage it for bands. If you know, it's not an option for everybody, but you know, it's something you should consider.
I know nothing about recordings, so
Well, I mean, I will admit that before we started this record, I had no idea how to record a record, and I just read some books, and then we
asked some friends,
and then we went and recorded a record. I mean, it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. It's definitely time consuming, but you can if you're driven, you can definitely learn pretty quickly. I mean,
I bet you're excited for Tour Now though.
Yeah, we are ready.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there like a city you want to really like? Are you excited about playing in? Other than Asheville, because Asheville is awesome.
Clearly the best.
Asheville. We had some fun cities on the last go around when we went on the tour in the fall. We really liked the West Coast a lot. It was fun. Oregon had some great spots and pretty scenery.
Did you go to Portland?
We did go to Portland, and it was
awesome.
Great. Yeah, it was what people say it is. It is sort of like Asheville's
food trucks.
Yeah, food trucks. Yeah. We are looking forward to going to one particular food truck in Austin, Texas, and
Torchy's
tacos.
Breakfast taco joint. Best
moment. Yeah, one of the best meals on the road.
It's like a shack, you know, little truck, food truck.
That's awesome.
In the middle of a dirt, you know, lot.
Yeah, a lot of food trucks in Austin, but the chances of us getting to that are limited because we'll be there during South by Southwest, which is another thing we're looking forward to. We haven't done that yet. Finding the taco truck might be difficult.
To South by, however you say it, I can never say it right. South by Southwest, because I always think of like SX. Yeah, sorry.
I think so too. It's kind of a tough one to get out.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. We're gonna make it out to Torchy's. We'll wait in line.
I know another band who played South by Southwest last year, I think.
Who was it?
Sugar Glider. They're from Charlotte. They're really awesome. They're really nice people.
They're going back?
I hope they are. I really enjoy them, and they're such nice people. I've known them since high school. So it's pretty cool.
Keep an eye out. There'll be a lot of fans, I'm sure.
Yeah, and they're like really kind of like alternative and stuff. Not like, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Their music.
There's
a lot of pedals. But awesome. So you have Kovacs opening for you on Friday? Are they touring with you too, or is it just Little Tybee?
It's just Kovacs is only playing the show here in Asheville, but we love them. I think they're a great band.
Yeah, it's our first show with them. We've been looking forward to playing with them since we've been in town. I think that our sounds will go really well together.
Yeah, and then Little Tybee's hitting the road with us for the entire. It's about 40 dates, so it's about it'll be a month and a half or more. We're going to be on the road.
We're going to be a 10-person band by the end of it.
We like them, though. We've gone on tours with them in the past, and they're a great, talented band.
I like how bands get so close together when they go tour together. It's
so you have no like, there's no option not to get close.
Yeah.
You literally are just close.
I'm glad we found them because they're a good group of people from head to toe, band head to toe. That is.
Where are they from?
Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, and I met them through a mutual friend, and we've gigged, and it was great. Our last tour with them was really great, and they're fun, and I'm sure we're going to have some pretty epic adventures together as a massive group unit traveling across the country. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and they're worth checking out. So 8:30 is when the doors open at the Grey Eagle, and it would be best to get there in time to see all the music because I think it's going to be a great night.
And it's only $8.
Except
for on the
three
day
bands.
it's $10, but I mean that's your fault for not getting a ticket at
And
time, so.
I think we're going to be selling the CD at a pretty special price, pretty fair price, on the night of the show. So $8, don't let it scare you because the CD will be affordable.
I'm gonna get one and play it in my car for like a month. Okay, how many songs do you guys like? You guys want to play a couple songs?
Yeah, we figured we'd play a couple songs. It's just Hallie and myself in here, and Alex is back here sitting on the couch.
He's the third
I'm
wheel.
keeping them
He's
company.
hanging
I didn't
out.
bring my drum set.
He's holding down the floor.
Yeah.
You're welcome to be.
I'm taking notes for all the mistakes I
Alright, we're going to play a song off of the album. It's track 2. It's called Great Parades. Go where the cold don't bother you so, and chill up your heart. You'll stifle its growth with the warmth of your arms. There you will find your repose.
Cracking down on the mountainside, we run and seek out the holes for to hide. But I'm not the one who's wide inside. And give me a house that sets in the sun, and with every show know you're the one. And I found you out of everyone.
Snow came in the roof of this place, sticks wet on your skin like ivory paste, and I wanna put the color back into your face.
Yay! Yay. Usually there's more people here to clap because I make them all clap, and it's pretty adorable. Actually, we have a full house here.
Oh yeah.
250 people.
The studio audience loved it.
The studio audience is going crazy.
I hope someone's out there clapping in their car. Not while
We
driving, I
encourage
guess.
Keep both hands on the wheel, please.
I wish we were in like cars. We're actually just like an online type thing.
Some of them are
People
clapping
in
out in front of their
cafes.
keyboard.
I don't know. Yeah, clapping in front of their keyboards. That'd be pretty cute. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you some kind of random questions.
Fire.
First, let's do best show ever played, like so far.
Go.
Performance-wise or feeling people?
You can do both if you want.
Okay, I'm answering first. It's in Asheville, actually. It was the show before we went on tour last time.
You know why?
Why?
Because there were so many UNCA
That's true.
That's true.
I was there.
We
There
were
was
pretty
everyone
excited
up
about
front.
it.
UNCA crowd just going crazy.
Freshman hippies, and
Oh,
I
you-
was standing in the back like, that's adorable, but
You play so much better when people are up front and
Yeah.
enjoy, even if they're faking it. I don't know, it's like I saw the UNCA kids up there, and it made me feel good, and I played a good show.
Yeah.
And I think
That's
we all.
I think that could be one of the best shows.
Although I
we
have to,
played.
I agree, but I have to say, close second was actually the show we played in Nashville on the return of the tour. And
Man,
Asheville's a
Asheville
good
is
spot.
the
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah,
Friday's
because we
probably
played in
gonna
like
be really
it was like the
awesome,
complete
too.
opposite of the departure show as far as like it was
Yeah.
not in a venue. It was like completely in a little tiny
Dry goods building.
Yeah,
West
in a little
Asheville.
tiny space, and it was like this really hot, stuffy, tiny room, and it felt like a house show. You know, it was,
It was
like a secret
sweaty,
show, you
sweaty
know?
and smelly.
it was on the
and-
second floor of this like old abandoned type warehouse. It wasn't
We
really abandoned, but
decorated
it
it.
felt kind of abandoned.
It's not.
It had the
Totally
abandoned,
run
it had
down.
the
Definitely
abandoned
had
feel.
I can
You know,
understand
it just
the abandoned feel.
yeah,
I can
it just
understand
wasn't
that.
a sanctioned venue, if you will.
Yeah.
And,
You should play at Warren Wilson. That
was a
was
goal.
pretty fun.
Down
Yeah.
down the bottom of that.
Yeah, it's like a little cafe.
Say-
We saw Woods
it's
there.
always full, and
Yeah.
it just gets so hot and sweaty.
I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
2 shows there that were phenomenal.
Holy Ghost
just 'cause
was
everyone
so
there.
good.
Holy Ghost
yeah,
played
Yeah,
they're
that was
buddies
the
of
first
ours.
time I
We
saw
like
Uncle Mountain too. So
Oh,
We should go out there.
We should go.
we should. That's really
Let's
close
do
to
it.
my house.
You live out in Swanee,
We're crashing in your house. Shouldn't have said it.
Aren't you guys always kind of a little drunk? Isn't that like generally
Are
what?
you kidding? We're, for the record, we're probably one of the squarest bands out there. I don't want to sell us out, but we're pretty.
It's true.
We get drunk on tunes, that's for sure. but
yeah, you know.
There might be a little bit of alcoholic consumption, but I wouldn't.
I certainly can't play the drums drunk.
I hear it's bad for like vocal cords anyway.
Yeah,
That's what they tell
we
me.
tested it. In 4 years of being a band, I know that I've tested my limits to see exactly how much alcohol I can consume and then still pull off a good show.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I now know that I have to limit it to 2 beers at most. during
Prior to
the
the show? To pull off a good show.
To pull off a good show.
And then afterwards, there's no rules. Well,
True.
maybe.
Well, no, that's kind of how we roll, I guess. You know, it's just as long as you get through the show. your
We've definitely all
responsibilities
pushed our
are-
limits.
We have to push
We've all
limits,
had our
yeah.
we all had our slip ups for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd love
But
to
we
tell some
learned.
stories
Yeah,
right
well,
now.
tell stories.
Well, actually, this is like a good transition for like the next question, which I was gonna ask. Most embarrassing show or band moments. So.
Ooh, I have.
I
don't know if I want to talk.
No, you need to get it off your chest.
I do need to
back
get it off my chest.
Professional Ryanism and
I threw a hissy fit on stage in
Oh, no.
in Charleston,
yeah, we were all
South
there.
Carolina. There was an issue with Hallie's DI box or direct in box, and whatever. It's a piece of equipment, and it was the sound engineer's responsibility to fix it. And he was just being delinquent, and he was not fixing it.
Delinquent.
What a word.
You're gonna throw another hissy fit, aren't you?
Right now.
And he refused to admit. God, I hope he's not
I
listening.
mean, it was.
He
making-
refused
we
to
loved
admit that it was his problem. He kept telling Hallie to change her chord, and I was like, "It's the DI box. Like we've tried all our chords. We know they're good." And
It
we
was
did
making-
rotate a bunch of we did rotate these things. And anyway, 3 songs in, the 3rd song in, it of course starts, and it's basically like doing this crazy like in the. So as soon as you hear it, you like freak out and it messed up. It sounds horrible.
I hate that. Yeah.
And so in the middle of the 3rd song, I heard it start going off, I stopped playing. I slowly took my guitar off. I set it down, and I walked to the side of the stage and folded my arms. And I
He
just sat.
stopped playing the middle of the song. The rest of us are all still like strumming along, trying to hold on to the
Alex
edge of
is
the
still
rope.
like drumming, like, what are you?
Everything kind of
doing?
falls
stood
apart,
there.
and
He
he
was
just
like, "I'm
stands
done."
on the edge of the stage with his arms crossed.
I'm done.
I'm not going to do
With my
anything
arms
until you
crossed.
fix that problem.
And the band stopped, and everybody in the whole venue was just silent. And I stood there. I was like, God, that was just a big mistake. And then the rest of the show, I was like, sorry. And I played the rest of the show, and I looked down at the ground, and we finished, and I like went straight to the van. And
Oh
it
no!
was-
was just-
I immediately regretted
it's
it, but
his
it was
fault,
really
though.
frustrating.
Yeah.
In my
Yeah.
defense, it was super I just handled it poorly. That's by far the most embarrassing show of
Which-
my career.
Yeah, and I had the same issue in Savannah. Was it
Yeah, I was gonna
Savannah?
say that was what came to
where
mind.
one of the members of the band and myself got into an argument during a song on the microphone. We were sharing a microphone, and we were somehow arguing about how loud my monitor was, and we were yelling at each other
Into the
microphone unknowingly,
Cursing.
Curse words
Swearing.
are
cursing during the song, which was probably some
Little folk lullaby.
folk
or something.
lullaby that we pull out, and you just hear this bad words flying here
Yeah,
and
that
there,
was-
and we're scowling at each other, and it's coming out through the main speakers, and that was
Aw.
embarrassing.
And that show
Bad
in general
behavior.
Yeah, I
was
was gonna
Poor
say that was a
behavior.
low point in general as far as the show.
tell
We
them.
that was like the culmination of a big bad day because I don't know how many shows we had played before that, but we were coming from Columbia the night before, and I don't know
We loaded in the dark.
Yeah, the show went okay in Columbia. I don't really remember, and then we had to load out in the dark out the back door, and I just feel like we were all sort of like in low spirits for some reason. I think we were all kind of scattered about that night, and we kind of had our stuff all over the place, and so when it came time to load our stuff in the van, we all just kind of like grabbed our own stuff and didn't really do a check or anything. But needless to say, we left to like, I think I left my kick drum pedal, my snare drum. Ryan left his guitar,
and
and
pedals.
like
in
just
Columbia.
left like a lot of our equipment and didn't even know
you
it.
can forget your guitar.
Oh, apparently you
Yeah.
can. So we
Yeah.
get re-rolling.
I mean,
this
we
Savannah,
had, in our defense, there's multiple guitars on the road,
and it's in the dark.
and it was
And
just
they-
it was
Oh, it
just
was
like
in the dark.
it was like in the dark, and we brought it all outside, and then it just got left under a patio, like it just didn't get in the van. But yeah, for whatever reason,
So yeah, we got to Savannah and
Did you come back?
we
we
The
did
next
after
day.
the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have time to go get it before the show. But and I remember the venue in Savannah was like kind of a disappointment. You know, it was just like we were all kind of like, you know, there's nobody there. You know, there's like maybe a bartender and a few people there to see us play. And it was like we were just like, you know. Then we start setting up our stage and we find out we're missing all of our equipment. We're just like, oh man, we were just so depressed. And then yeah.
Ellie and Steve
I'm
were
playing on
getting
like
fight.
somebody's rent, you know, like the bartender called a friend and like got him to bring his like kick pedal for me to use.
Everything
and that
was
kind of thing. So
janky
it
and
was all janky and
sounded bad.
we were all just like really grumpy. So that
Weird.
was like, I don't know if that was, it was embarrassing for the fight on stage, but I think it was also just kind of
The worst show.
a low point.
It was definitely probably. I'd say that's one of the worst shows we played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there are all sorts of other little things like whacking your head or teeth on a microphone or Ryan. I have jabbed Ryan in the jugular numerous times with my bow, and we've broken things on stage. And yeah, there have definitely been embarrassing moments. You can't always be like flawless and graceful and perfect.
No,
When you're feeling the music, your eyes are
completely
closed, and you happen
understand.
to run straight
That
into
makes me
things.
think of when we had that super jam at Vince Saloon. We had a super jam one time where we just
With
we were
little
just-
Tybee?
No, that was kind of ridiculous too, but this was with Swift Science.
Oh gosh.
And sometimes
Cool
we just
band,
like to,
though.
yeah, great band and like really good friends of ours. So that's why we like last song of the set. It was like kind of the encore sort of, and we were like, you know, what the heck? We'll just have these guys come up and kind of jam with us. Well, the whole band gets up there and like the drummer he comes up there and you have all these people up there who don't really know the song and they start playing along to it and like. I just like the drummer's playing like something totally different than what I'm playing, and it just turns into this big mess.
Monkey jam.
Yeah, we
Straight up monkey
I just
jam,
get halfway
if you
through
can
the
imagine
song,
that.
and I'm like looking at Ryan and I'm looking at Hallie and I'm like, I don't know where we are. I don't know where the beat of the song
making
is. Like,
noise at that
am
point.
I even remotely on beat right now? Just kind of like the song just kind of disintegrated in the middle of it. And I just kind of like I kind of had one of those moments where I sat there and just kind of folded my hands and was like, well, that didn't work. Like I don't know how to recover from this. So I'm just gonna call it the end.
Gotta take risks.
Yeah.
I think you guys have had like the best embarrassing moment stories so far.
I think
Because we've only had a few people come in so far.
Really?
3 bands, yeah. Melissa Hyman, Baby Rattlesnakes, and the Broadcast.
No, Melissa. We know Melissa. She
they'll
played.
get-
Melissa's
They'll
adorable.
definitely-
I love
Yeah.
Melissa.
Yeah.
they happen. The more you play, the more you're
Melissa's
susceptible.
pretty. There are most of those bands are actually pretty graceful, I think. But when I think about it, I can't see Melissa, a beautiful cellist, doing anything.
She actually played on our
She
record.
played on our record.
Oh,
so
cool.
She plays the
Awesome.
cello on our record.
she'll be
Everyone
also
in
playing the
Asheville
CD release show.
Intertwined.
Mhm.
It's
A
pretty
little
Yeah, she
tidbit
will
of
be
information.
playing at our
We'll
CD
be
release
having
show.
some special things the night of the CD release show,
neat. Awesome.
and it will look pretty, hopefully too.
Can I assume that Uncle Mountain helped you with your CD a little?
Yes.
A lot of
Yeah.
You assume
Uncle Mountain,
helped us
we
with our
owe
mentality and our souls
lot
and
to
everything
them.
else.
They're good friends, and Dan, the singer of Uncle Mountain's going on this tour with us. And yeah, great friends. We owe them the world, pretty much. Dan, I called a lot, because he did a lot with recording in college, and he tracked their record and mixed their record, and worked at Echo
yeah,
Mountain
from
for a
them
while.
too.
And,
Yeah,
yep.
and we've known him for. Dan's the first guy I met in college.
Yeah.
First person I met.
Like
At-
15 years ago. But yeah, I called Dan pretty much every week. I was like, I'm getting this weird thing coming out of this microphone, like, or how do you mic the inside of a kick drum if you don't want blah 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 blah. So we talked to them a whole lot.
That's
The
good.
whole
Cool.
process.
You went from that phone call to, hey Dan, you want to come on tour with us?
Do the favors ever end?
Yeah, we're pretty excited.
Yeah.
I mainly have one question left. So if you guys would like to
You want to play a
play
song
some
first,
tunes, yeah.
and lay us with the big one?
Yeah, it's a big one too. We've asked
boy.
every other band that's come in so far, and it was the idea of Eric Hoffman, who helps us out. He is like a director of some. He helps with a lot of things
Uh-huh.
for the station. But he thought of the question, and it's pretty interesting sometimes. So
Alright.
I'm interested in seeing what you guys say.
All right.
Let's
I'm
let
gonna
that
flip this
brew.
over. Okay, what's the next song you're gonna play?
This one's called Unfound Door.
And we're playing this one for you, milady.
Yay!
1, 2, 3. And I have finally weighed your heavy tongue, and I can finally say I'm running low. I never want to be home, and I'll hold this garden malleable. When the greenery's gone to seed, I'll hold the dry earth clean and free, so I wouldn't want to get too close to me. And I have finally weighed your heavy tongue, and I can finally say I'm running low. And I know I drove by the church and it looked warm. Well, that glass was glowing red, and my heart was high up in my chest. I need community. I need to finally believe in me. Am I ready? I'm not ready. My hands are steady on the wheel.
There's so many screaming girls
I
on
love
that one.
that song.
Thank you.
I also like the first song you guys played, so because you have a lovely voice now.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Okay.
I like that to hear that. I need to
You
hear
like
that.
to hear that.
I need to hear that.
Well, you all are wonderful. Should I ask the question?
Ask
now?
Ask.
Bring
I
it.
know you have like you want to play like one more song or no? Or?
We were thinking about playing one off
Play one off the
one more off the
One
record.
off the record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the question is, by Eric Hoffman, what is your favorite cereal?
Oh God!
Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles?
That was so easy.
Really? Cocoa Pebbles?
Really, just like that, hands down.
I mean,
Cocoa Pebbles, not even a debate?
that's a classic, always go to. Yeah, we got
Melissa
like.
had a couple.
Well,
so.
I didn't know you could do a couple. I mean, I like the Crackling
Really?
Oat Bran a lot, but that's too expensive for me, so I got to go back down to Cocoa Pebbles. But if,
it's not expensive though if you actually think about
Crackling
it.
Oat Bran?
No, if you think about it in
Sustenance.
weight,
Nope, I eat just
it's
as much of that.
18.
No,
I doubt
a
it.
box of Cocoa Pebbles weighs a quarter of the amount of a box of Crackling Oat Bran.
What?
You can eat an entire box of Cocoa Pebbles and not be satisfied.
No,
I eat
I
one
always
whole
just
box
fill
of
the bowl
Cocoa
the
Pebbles.
same.
It's just air.
No matter what the cereal is, I always fill it to the
Can
same
you
amount,
cheat?
same milk,
Can
same.
you cheat and buy one of the really big, like, off-brand Cocoa Pebbles, though?
Yeah, that's the same
You can-
thing.
It's not the same?
Mm-mm.
No.
But
You
But
can
I
be an
will
idiot.
tell you, I made this discovery the other day that if you go into Green Life or Earth Fair and you get Zyco coconut milk, because that's like the hipster craze nowadays, coconut milk.
Coconut milk?
Yeah, but if you get that, they have a chocolate version of that, and it's just like drinking the milk after you've eaten a bowl of Cocoa Pebbles.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
I
don't
wonder
put
if
it on
we
your
know
Cocoa
that.
Pebbles, though. No.
I never thought of
I'm a
that.
classic cereal,
should try it.
whole milk in my cereal.
Whole milk?
Oh,
Jim
yeah.
said.
Well, what's
Whole
your
milk.
cereal? I gave mine definitely hands
I mean,
down.
I am an avid cereal eater. I definitely eat it.
So you should have a
He has like
favorite.
about 2 or 3 bowls.
Well,
a
it
day.
just depends.
I'm trying to hold on before you answer this question. I know you very well, and I'm going to see if I can guess
Ooh,
or
ooh,
give you
this
my
is-
interpretation of what your
Tell me
favorite
what you
cereal
think
is.
my
Because
favorite
I literally, he probably eats on average
Sure.
6 bowls of cereal a day.
I mean, he's always
Just
has well cereal.
On average.
And
If
his
it's not
beers.
an unhealthy cereal, he's getting his daily.
Well, that's not
fiber.
always the
like
case.
Cocoa Pebbles.
I think
Well, let us just preface this entire thing that Alex and I spend a lot of time together.
More than that.
We've lived together since our sophomore year in college. We work when we do real
half
work.
jobs, yeah.
When we actually have jobs, we work together, and we play in a band together.
You
So
currently
So what
share
you're
a
saying is
car.
we currently share a car.
They might as well share a cereal
I'm an
bowl.
authority on the subject, is what you're saying.
I'm saying that he knows me very well, but I'm curious to see what's going on.
I'm saying I don't know if there is an answer because you do flip flop, which
I'm a
any
flip-flopper.
any real cereal eater should do. But I think your go-to, your fallback, is probably Frosted Flakes.
Really?
I think I think you probably had more Frosted Flakes than any other cereal in your lifetime.
You know why Frosted Flakes is such a good cereal?
It's a great cereal, actually.
This is true.
They're great.
Hey, I gotcha.
Okay, got you. I didn't know.
Someone's gonna spell the joke.
I know. So just leave it at yeah.
Laugh.
You didn't say it the right way. She just said they're great.
You know,
You're right. Yeah.
they're great.
It's a phenomenal cereal. It has. I look for weight in my cereal. I always look at the amount of ounces you're getting for your price. That's something that I take into consideration to make sure my gut is filling as I'm eating.
Hallie's making a face.
That's why Coco.
I'm just wondering how he chooses his women, if that's how he chooses his cereal.
I don't always have the pleasure of choosing my women. Like I do a box of cereal. And you. It doesn't always work that way.
Can we go for 4 instead of 5 bucks?
I mean, it is. It's a very good cereal, and it's reasonably priced, and it's delicious. But I think probably in the Hall of Fame, in my ultimate, is still Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't get it.
Crunch has been an answer a few times.
I don't get it that often anymore because it's almost too. But also, to be perfectly honest, a bowl of Cheerios with maple syrup on top is the other thing.
Honey.
Or honey. Maple syrup.
Yeah, maple syrup.
Depends
It's from Maine.
Depends where you're from.
So that.
I think that's my answer.
Alex,
Cheerios.
Just Cheerios, and you have a million
Dress
options.
them
What about
right.
O's?
Fruit, honey,
O's
They
have their
hurt the roof of
downfall.
your mouth.
They're waxy. They have the roof of your mouth.
Yeah, that's
they're better
weird.
dry sometimes than wet. It's just the box is so small. I ate the box in like 2
That's like crackling the oat bran. And you just burn right through it.
I get sick of O's.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, though, you can drink you can drink the milk from that.
I would drink them. I do drink milk. Alex.
Okay.
Okay, Alex used to not drink his milk.
Oh, shame on you, milk wasters.
Well, I sort of-
Cows all over the country are
Milk
really
Okay.
He used to say it was like the bathwater.
It is the bathwater of cereal.
The delicious bathwater.
Yeah. No.
I don't like soggy cereal, so I always soggy cereal.
But do you drink
Yeah.
the milk? Like at the end, you
I mean,
finish
if
a bowl of cereal.
If all
You
the
got.
soggy cereal is like in the milk, it's kind of gross. No.
I dig soggy cereal.
That's part of the reason. That's part of the reason I don't do it. Secondly, because I was raised with some manners. If I were to do that at my table at home when I was a kid, I'd get smacked. So that kind of became the habit. Like, don't you dare lift that bowl to your mouth and drink out of the bowl.
You didn't have one of those cool bowls with those little straws?
No, I never had that
Oh
luxury.
man.
Oh.
I don't think I would have utilized it. If
Shouldn't
I
you
had
put the right amount of milk in your cereal to where you don't have a whole...
Well, who's to say what the
That's
right amount of
a
milk
whole
is?
nother question, and you should...
I enjoy a half a cup of milk at the end.
I think it depends on the cereal. I think some cereals call for a little bit drier, base. I think you're putting yourself at a disadvantage if you just put the same amount of milk in every bowl of cereal.
What about bowl size?
Frosted Mini Wheats, lots of milk. You want those things freaking
That's
swimming.
true.
Yeah, because they need to soak it up.
Raisin Bran, not so much.
No, unless it's the crunchy kind, you can add more. I had it this morning.
I did too, actually.
What about cereals to avoid?
That's a good question too.
Cereals to
Not
avoid.
very many cereals.
I think those
like
high fiber ones.
All the healthy
The
ones.
muesli.
So
all the
one
healthy
with, like,
cereals.
If the name
I'm
sounds
weird
like a
with flax
drug,
seeds,
you don't want.
so
Yeah,
like
flax
some of them
seeds.
with
Flax get a little
flax seeds
strange.
are
Yeah, that's
kind
not
of
so good.
gross. So, Cocoa Pebbles. You have like I don't even Frosted Flakes.
Cinnamon Toast
and
Let's go with
Cinnamon Toast Crunch,
Crunch,
And Oreos
and
with honey.
you like Cheerios.
Cheerios.
Plain Cheerios.
Awesome. I think John Ski had from Railroad Earth liked Cheerios too.
Really?
Yeah, he was
You guys
very.
should hook up and have a bowl of cereal sometime.
He knows what's up.
He was very like healthy with his decisions. He chose Cheerios because it's a good snack on the road, and the kashi.
Puff kashi?
Yeah, kashi.
I love kashi.
Yeah.
What's your
I
favorite?
dig it. My favorite? I don't know. Recently, I've gotten into a kind that's like it's a healthier kind, but it has pecans in it, and I add blueberries. And I
Wow.
like that.
Sounds pretty good.
Scientific.
I think
thought
blueberries
about
all
what
said
should
and
go
are the
to
best
this.
cereal fruit.
Blueberries are the best addition. There's
Close
Strawberries
second
are
to
cool.
raspberries.
Bananas.
What size bowl do you
Bananas.
like to use?
Bananas.
What
Now we're getting
shape
a little carried
bowl?
away. We should probably play this on the record.
Oh, Lydia, no.
This is
Nobody
not always
wants
entertaining for everybody.
cereal
But,
talk.
but to answer your
I
question,
love it.
Deep bowls.
You guys.
Deep bowls are better, I think, always.
I agree, but
Too much
I've
water.
fallen into traps before with deep bowls.
Where you put too much in?
I put a lot in, and then the milk just sinks in there, and it never seems to like float the cereal in a deep bowl. It takes a while. So I've had some deep bowls where I have like probably a
See,
cup and a
I've
half of
fallen into
milk.
traps with spoons. Sometimes my eyes are too big for my
Man, you guys are
mouth
so
or
gullible.
whatever. Because, my natural reaction is like, bigger the better.
Exactly.
Almost always. But if your spoon's a little bit too big, you find yourself like kind of
Ain't that a problem to have, boys and girls?
Well, it's still better than having a spoon that's too small. It's not the worst thing in the world when you're trying to eat cereal with a
a lot
spoon.
more work.
It doesn't even hold the milk. You're just getting dry cereal and all the milk just falls.
Absolutely.
I think we're all looking at this comment and
I'm not sorry.
Hey, actually, this question seemed like a simple one at first, but you guys made it.
Oh, give it to us. We'll
pretty
turn
intense.
it. Always the same
Yeah.
direction.
And if you guys have
in fact
the
we
same
wrote a
problem-
record about cereal one time. Actually we didn't.
We sold all the copies. I can't really find it anymore.
If you guys still have the same problem with the bowl and stuff, I'm a ceramicist. I'm a student who makes bowls out of clay, so I could make you some.
The perfect.
I could make you the perfect bowl.
I don't. I mean, I
But
could.
I could go for bowls.
Okay, so what song would you like me to play off your record?
Stone.
Yeah.
Stone.
Stone.
The song's called Stone.
Number 3 off their new record. I haven't even said it the whole time. A Stone, a Leaf, an Unfound Door. Coming out essentially this week.
Right.
It's on Bandcamp. You can buy it digitally.
For whatever you want to pay for.
For whatever you want to pay
your
for
own,
it.
name your own price.
Yeah,
Get to know
and,
the songs.
That's River Whyless, by the way.
River Whyless, in case you forgot. And I mean, how could they forget? You guys are awesome, right?
Thanks.
Well, I guess we'll stop talking now. Thanks for coming in and stuff and playing your songs. And
Thank you.
everyone should go to the Grey Eagle on Friday because it's only $8 and there's 3 awesome bands. Little Tybee is from Atlanta, Georgia, but Kovacs and River Whyless, they're local. You'll be supporting them, and it's the beginning of their tour essentially. Except for on Thursday, you actually have another
Boone
show
Saloon
as
and
well.
Boone.
No,
No,
Legends in Boone.
I mean Legends. I always do that.
in Boone, though.
Whoops.
In Boone.
Legends in
Legends
Boone.
in Boone.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna play Stone from their new album, and we'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good question.
I should tell Aaron.
For people like us, we can debate that forever.
Hey, you watch out, the kick's gonna blow your speakers out.
Because it's awesome.
Dan just called me twice.
Is it? What time is he supposed to be there?
We're gonna roll.